Okay, let's start off. So let's talk about images briefly. So just 1 minute. So can I share my screen now? Okay, so talk about images, chapter 5. Actually going to flip through it because I believe some of you have done the assignments I gave already. So let's do this right now. Maybe you all can see my screen. Okay, talk about the image tag. Okay. Storing images, let me just quickly, most of you have gone through this, so I'll just have to just highlight the key points in the article. Storing images in your excuse me, on your website. I believe I've talked about this in one of our classes where I had to talk about something like this, like having a folder for your images, so you can see what this picture looks like. So I always have a folder for your images, just as I have in this. This is what my own looks like as well. So always try to have that in place, so you can always reference images in that folder. You can always pull up images from that folder, so you don't have to get your images all retagged everywhere in your website. For instance, this folder of my website, so it wouldn't make sense having all the images somewhere here. So to make it look neat, I have to put them in an images folder or whatever folder you prefer to call it. But whatever you choose to call it, just make sure that when you're referencing the image in your HTML code, you're using the name of this folder correctly. So if you call it images, fine. If you call it pictures, whatever you call it, it's fine. Just make sure you reference it when you're trying to access um, your image. Okay, now how do we add images um, to a HTML file? So this is what you use. You use the ing tag, the image tag. So the ing tag looks like the link tag, link tag. It doesn't have a closing tag. So it's not like you do img and then you have a closing ing tag. So everything is just on one line. That's how it looks. So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. You can see that what it looks like. See? And then go to mention your source. Your source, when you're putting the image, will be in between these quotes. And then any other attribute you wish to add. And then this is how you close it. So it doesn't have an ing closing tag. So basically, this is what it looks like without any attributes. This is what the tag looks like without any attributes. This is what it just looks like. So if you now add your attributes like the source src, then add another attribute, let's say the width attribute, and then whatever thing you put as the width enters there. You can put the height attribute, you can put the alt attributes, and then put your values in between the quotes. So this is just what it looks like. And that's how you call your image. Then now the ing tag has, I just typed them out right now in the code I was just trying to show you guys. There's a source, the src source. This is where you have to specify the URL to your tag. The alt provides a text description of the image, which describes the image if you cannot see it. So I believe you must have seen a situation whereby on the website, maybe because the the internet is slow or something like that, and then you get to see that the image doesn't load so fast or doesn't load at once, and then you get to see maybe the name of the image or something like that. So that's the essence of the alt tag, to show what's supposed to be in that place, in that position, or in that image. You can put any value into it. For instance, I can say, okay, these are, I don't know what animal is this, but I know it's a rodent or something. Okay, let's assume it's a kangaroo. In my alt tag, I can just go and put kangaroo, and put anything. So this is what we display when your image is maybe still trying to load because the internet is slow or something. So it just shows the user that, oh, the image that's about to load is a kangaroo. So nothing serious. So your tag cannot actually do without it. It will still work fine. So here's the title tag. You can add the title of the image if you want. And then, like I just said, this is just a code showing the images folder / then the name of the file in the images folder. You get that? So you're referencing coca.jpg file inside an images folder. So this is how you use it. So these are a value for the SRC attributes. Then you can see they specify the width and then they specify the height. So this is how to do it. And then and your width and height can be in px. So you can say 600 px, 450 px, or 400 px, whatever you choose to add as width and the height. You can use that. Okay. So I can let you guys go through this. This is an image. It's showing an image before a paragraph. You can see the image tag before a paragraph tag. Then this is a horizontal line, and then this shows an image tag within a paragraph. You can see that. And then this other guy shows, okay, this one comes before the text in the paragraph, right? You can see the image comes before the text in the paragraph. And then in this other example here, you can see the text comes before the image tag, or rather in between, because as you can see, there's an image tag here. And there's supposed to be an image here, and then there is a continuation of the paragraph here. So this is like in the middle of an image in the middle of a paragraph. And so that's what he tried to explain here. And then I believe in the next page, you get to see what this looks like. You can see this is the result of those codes I just showed you in the previous page. So this is what it looks like. So yeah, old code. What we've been doing all this while is HTML5. And then in the old code, in the previous HTML, you could use something like this to align your images. It still works for HTML5 anyway, so you could still use, though I think it's been removed in HTML5. I think this has been removed. It has been removed in HTML5. I don't think it works in HTML5. You might just give it a try. If you're using HTML5, it wouldn't work. I believe it must have been removed, but it used to work back then in previous versions of HTML. But this is just to show you what it looks like, so that if you see these attributes align equal to left, align equal to right, then just how you want your images to be aligned horizontally. So if you want it to go to the left, use align equal to left. If you want it to go to the right, use align equal to right, and then it has within your image tag. And same thing applies for aligning your images vertically and vertically rather. So you can use the top and bottom, because vertical is top and bottom. That's what makes vertical a vertical line, and then horizontally is the left and right. So that's about that. So you can see there is the top to align your image, the top, the middle to align it, the image to be in the middle, and then the bottom same thing. So if you look at the results, you get to see, oh, I think they're actually aligning the text, not the images. Okay, it's the image, yeah. So, but you can see the results. So these are just things you could just try out in your code and see what it looks like. So just try it out in your code, and that's the essence of this book. So you get to test things out yourself and see what it looks like, what the result looks like. So yeah, there are 3 rules to remember when you are creating images for a website, and these are the rules. Save images in the right format. So when we say the right format, there's JPEG format or JPG format. There's GIF for animated videos without audio. That's what the GIF looks like. And then the PNG format. So GIF, I believe you must have seen .gif files. Those files you get to see where those short clips, I think just like your stickers, the stickers you use in WhatsApp and some of all these social media apps. So most of them have the GIF stickers. All those images, you see the memes, you get to see that like videos but no voice. So that's what GIF looks like. And then the normal PNG files, and then the .jpeg or .jpg file. And then make sure you are saving your images right. And then when you're referencing the image, you just try to, let me show you an example. For instance, if you want to reference this image, it's .gif, bet.gif. For instance, that's the name of the file. So like, let me open up my, you can see. Oh, okay. Oh, I will get to, let me just speak, let me just speak. Just speak. I don't know if I have any images around that. No problems. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. So I was just trying to show you the various formats of images. There are images that you could get, and it could be .gif, it could be .png, it could be bird.jpg. It all depends on where you get the image from. Let's keep going. So what's the second rule? Save images at the right size. So if you pick up an image from the website, you might need to resize it with the photo editing app if you want, or you could always, it all depends on what you want to achieve. And then thirdly, you have to use the correct resolution. This is talking about referred resolution refers to the number of dots per inch, and most computer screens only show web pages at 72 pixels per inch. So let me just quickly explain what pixels look like. So for things to display on your screen, they actually, for what you are seeing on your screen is actually a collection of dots. Like all this stuff, the way your screen looks like, it's actually a collection of dots. You understand? So that's just what resolution means, number of dots per inch of your screen. It might not make sense to you, but just know that what you get to see on your screen is just a combination of dots. That's why you can see what appears on your screen. So make sure you're using the correct resolution. And most times you get to use pixels for images. But that's it. Tools to edit. Okay. The most popular tool to edit an image is Adobe Photoshop. But here I'm going to still drop. Okay, you can see some online editors, Photoshop.com. These are softwares you can actually download on your computer. I think Paint comes with Microsoft Windows. So you can get Adobe Fireworks, Adobe Photoshop, Paint Shop Pro, and all. And then you can still use some of these online editors, like let's say you want to quickly edit an image online. And then I'm going to just add, let me just add one here. This is my favorite, the one I use a lot, like looks a lot like Photoshop. They call it photopea.com. That's it. And then if you want to quickly remove a background from an image. So you use remove.bg, I think so. Just check. Remove.bg. This is what I used to quickly remove a background from an image. Let's say I want to make an image transparent, like I don't want it to have a background that it comes with. For instance, let's say this picture here, I want to remove everything and then maybe get to retain just the firewood or something like that. I want to take out this background. So what I do is I use that remove.bg, upload the picture there, and then just click download, upload, sorry, remove, and it removes it automatically for me. So I don't need to use any other extra software to do anything. So it saves me a lot of time, remove.bg. So now image, this video to be as short as possible. So these are some image formats. This is a basic JPEG or JPG image format. And then so you can see one key point that I want you guys to know. Whenever you have many different colors in a picture, you should use a JPEG. So as you can see, there are lots of colors. Just try to use a JPEG. A photograph that features snow and overcast sky might look like it has large areas that are just white or gray, but the picture is usually made up of many different colors. So if your picture has so many colors, JPEG is like one of the most preferred file formats. You can see lots of colors here, red, blue, ash, and stuff. So and also JPEG kind of looks lighter as well in weight, so it's not always that big, heavy compared to some other formats. So that's why I still like JPEG. And then there's another image formats, GIF. Use GIF or PNG when saving images with few colors or large areas of the same color. For instance, this just has red and white, and there's a large area with red, and also it's cool to save this as PNG or GIF. Okay. Or for logos, especially, that's where I love using PNG logos. Yeah, logos or diagrams that are often used for colors. So logos, especially, that's where you get to use PNG a lot. It's not advisable to use JPEG for logos. Okay. So one more thing that I need to talk about here too. So logos normally do have, you want to create a logo like this, you create a logo like this, definitely you want to place it on top of a web page or somewhere where the background needs to be transparent. For instance, okay, I don't know if you can see what I'm holding up to the screen. St. Nicholas, I don't know, is St. Nicholas water. I believe you can see it. This is what it looks like. You can see the inside of the can. And say that you can see the inside of the can. Why? Because this image on this stuff here for their logo, this image is transparent. That's why you can see the inside of this can. So it doesn't made a PNG file. So they made it transparent because it's a logo sort of. So you can even see the write-ups. You can see through the write-ups. Why? Because this stuff was saved as a PNG file. That's why you can see the write-up. You can see through the write-up. So anytime you want to achieve something like this, that you need to place, like a logo you need to place somewhere on your website, it's advisable to save that as a PNG file, transparent PNG. And JPEG can be transparent, so we always use PNG to save it to make sure that it's transparent. So, like I told you, if it's a JPEG file that you pick up and then you want to save, you want to quickly remove the background and all that, I've shown you the website you could use to easily do that. Remove.bg, and then it makes it, converts it to a PNG file that you can use somewhere on your website. So that's about that. And then image dimensions. Okay, you can read up this one. There are lots of image dimensions. You can reduce, you can increase, you can whatever. It all depends on the pixels you set. So when you talk about image dimensions, for instance, if you see 100, if you see something like 100 by 50, what it means is it's 100 px by 50 px, for instance. It means the width is 100 and then the height is 50. So anytime you get to see something like this could possibly be a 600 by 300 or 150 by whatever. So if you see something like 150 by 150, that means the width and the height are of equal sizes. So definitely to give you a square. Or rectangles always have longer width and then shorter height. So, but the way you name dimensions is width by height. So that's one thing you should get at it from the very just have at the back of your mind that width comes first before the height. So 600 by 50 600 by 50 px 600 px by 50 px means 600 px wide and 50 px, the height 50 px. So that's it. And then cropping images. In here of cropping images is just about cutting off some parts of the image. As you can see, this is a portrait. Portrait is something, a portrait picture always has a longer height and then a shorter width, as you can see. So this is a portrait, and then landscape is the opposite, direct opposite of the. So landscape always has longer width and shorter heights. So now cropping, if you crop this illustration to make it landscape, we lose the head and the feet. So this is the original illustration. If you try to crop it to make it landscape, you lose the head and this. Why? Because the actually landscape is this way. So you definitely will crop out some parts of it. But just know that if you have an image that has a longer width or content of an image that has a longer width, you try to use landscape. He has, so this is just what you just have to know anyway. So you might not really get to start working with these till you start editing images yourself. But just know that we've talked about image resolution. Yeah, JPEGs, GIFs, and PNGs belong to a type of image format known as bitmap. They are made up of lots of miniature squares. As you can see, this is what I was trying to explain. This is a part of this fox right here. But usually, this is what the screen looks like. Because they're quite much, you don't get to see something like this here. You understand? So that's it. So you could just read that up, just know it for. Then vector images differ from, so they're actually bitmap and vector images. Vector images differ from bitmap images and are resolution independent. Vector images are commonly created in programs such as Adobe Illustrator. So this is one. You see that. So no matter how you drag a vector image, there are times that you want to zoom into a picture. So if the picture is in this format, is it in either of these formats, JPEG, GIF, and PNG formats, you notice that at a point when you zoom in so much, it becomes distorted somehow like this one. You understand? So that's one thing with bitmap images, because that's how these images are actually formed, by combination of dots, squares, But an SVG file, scalable, that's a vector image. It's totally different. You understand? So there's something I'm missing here. Okay, so I think that should be all. So this is what I was trying to say about vector images. You can increase the dimensions of the image without affecting the quality of it. So you can always stretch it, zoom in and all that, and it still retains its quality. It doesn't start distorting and then start looking blurred. So this one format, SVG for scalable vector graphics, animated GIFs, yeah. So the animated ones are the ones I talked about, like your memes, that's still GIF files. Usually JPEGs and PNGs can't be animated. You understand? So what is animated is something like a GIF file. Yeah, it has to be a GIF file for it to be animated. Like all those memes you get to see on social media apps, moving and all that. So those are animated GIFs. I've talked about transparency here, and I've talked about PNG being the best format if you want to save a transparent file, like the logo on this can I showed you right now. You can see that it's transparent, saved as a PNG file, and that's why you can see through it. Also, there are still transparent GIF files, so you can just read up those stuffs. Yeah. So walk you guys through. I think that should be okay. So let me touch one last part. Let's say we have an image. Let's say um, for instance. So you can see this guy right here. That's Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck. So if I want to check the picture size, I can right click on it. Let me right click on this. Say open in new tab. Oh, you know what? Let's just open images. You can see once you right click on an image on the web browser, for instance, this guy, you can see something like open image in new tab. That's an image right there. So that's it. So that's an image. I can always, if I try to do save as, or let's say save it somewhere, let me see, I save it to pictures. Save it to image, for instance. Let's save it inside the images folder. I hit save. It's there in my images folder. And go back. Try to save images folder. You can see it's saved here, right? Can you see that now? So I can, this is the size. And if I go to the details, I get to see the dimension of the picture. So the dimension is 190 by 265, right? And then that means the width is 190 pixels, the height is 265 pixels. I can even do that, check out the size by just bringing my cursor to it, and it just shows me the dimension, 190 by 265. I don't need to click it, I just need to bring cursor to it, and it just shows me the size right there. And it actually shows me the file type, that is a JPG file. I believe you can see that on my screen. So, okay, let's get back to that file. So I'm just showing you how to check these things out. I don't know if it needs to have something here. Okay. So sometimes your browser doesn't display, for instance, if you're on Firefox, so you could just do Alternate F and it shows you the toolbar. So with that, you can still check, some info about, I think, page info. Let's see, page info, yeah. So media, you see that. So image, click on the image and it shows you This is another way you can still see the image dimensions, info about this image, and then you can as well save it. So to show, save it. So you want to say save as, it still saves, or you can always save it here as well. You understand? So that's it about images. I think that should go that to wrap. So you can just read how to check out the download images and how to do this on your own browsers. Yeah, finally, HTML5 has a figure and then a figure caption tags added to it. This wasn't in the previous versions of HTML, but you can see they added the figure. So there's an opening figure tag and then a closing figure tag where you can place your image and then place your image caption. So as you can see, it contains images and their captions. So this figure tag is specifically for images and then the image captions. So you could put your image and then put your caption. Then voila, you get something like this. The image caption, that's it there inside the feed caption tags. But then you just make sure you have to wrap it up in the figure tag. So that should be all about images. So practice, 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 and then you get perfect. So bye.